Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. If you always watch our channel, you may know that the news of the US ban on Chinese semiconductor. For the chip industry, the United States is paying more and more attention, even to the point of tension. The semiconductor technology mastered by the United States leads the world, and many pioneering chip inventions and designs come from the United States. At its peak, the United States held 37% of the world's chip production, but these are in the past. The United States stopped pretending and publicly admitted its shortcomings, while China's counterattack was initially successful. The US chip rules have been implemented for many years, and the global chip industry chain has been affected. It is difficult to open and cooperate, as in the past, and maintain the original transaction status. There are also many people who oppose American chip rules. Just like Microsoft founder Bill Gates said, the United States will never be able to prevent China from having its own powerful chips, which will cost them a lot of time and money to make their own chips. Bill Gates is persuading the United States to turn back in time, otherwise American chips will not be able to be sold after China develops its own chips, and it will also cause Americans to lose high-paying jobs. The United States turned a blind eye to Bill Gates' statement and continued to go its own way. It reached an agreement with the Netherlands and Japan to include 28 Chinese entities in the entity list. This situation proves that the United States does not intend to turn back and continues to go down the same road. The United States said it was for safety, but it actually exposed the anxious side of the United States. After all, other countries are rapidly developing chip technology, while a large number of chip orders from the United States have been lost to foreign countries. Over time, the advantages of various chip industries in the United States have been weakened. Regarding this point, the United States stopped pretending and took off its mask to admit its shortcomings. According to the Secretary of Commerce, since 1990, the U.S. global chip manufacturing market share has dropped from 37% to 12%, but now the shrinking manufacturing has brought the real impact, is that many drones, satellites are dependent on supply chains that are not produced in the United States. The United States is clearly acknowledging the shortcomings of the chip manufacturing industry. In fact, as the United States said, almost all high-end and advanced chip products are manufactured in Asia. American companies are responsible for providing chip design orders, and then find TSMC and Samsung as OEMs, and then hand over the OEM chips to US companies for sale. There is nothing wrong with such an industrial model. The division of labor between designers and manufacturers can also reduce R&D costs and improve industrial efficiency. But as chip manufacturing becomes more and more important, the United States can't sit still. If we continue to let US companies place orders in Asia for production, or wait for competitors to rise, the market pie that the US will share will be gone. Based on the strong desire to localize chips, there are many chip rules in the United States, all of which are just to satisfy their own selfishness. As for the global development of chips, the cooperation interests of foreign suppliers and the operating conditions of their own American companies have been left aside by the United States. The United States can ignore it, but we can't let it be, and we have to actively respond to it at critical moments. On the bright side, China's counterattack has initially won, In terms of chip design, the United States does not allow ARM to provide architecture authorization at will. Chinese manufacturers have found a new chip design architecture solution based on the RISC-V architecture. Alibaba has designed 8 Xiantai processors through the RISC-V architecture, which are also adapted to the full operating system platform, and have made great contributions to the construction of the RISC-V architecture ecology. China's chip design has been accelerating development, and there are many layouts for EDA industrial software. For example, the EDA National Innovation Center will be built in Nanjing to connect upstream and downstream enterprises in integrated circuit design to help the sustainable development of the domestic EDA industry ecology. The United States has many measures for chip design. Synopsys high-end EDA software cannot be provided to the outside world, and ARM's V9 architecture technology is also limited. But the more this is the case, the greater the intensity and determination of domestic manufacturers in independent research and development. In addition, in terms of chip innovation research, China has built the first quantum chip production line, and the first photonic chip production line is expected to be completed in 2023. Starting from quantum chips and photonic chips, China explores the possibility of the chip industry and moves towards breaking the limit of Moore's law. The semiconductor technology in the United States is concentrated in traditional industries. If it were not for the accumulation of research in the past few decades, it may have lost its first-mover advantage in the development of innovative technologies. China will not stop chip research and development. As Bill Gates said, the United States will never be able to prevent China from obtaining powerful chips, because China will develop its own. The United States may not be able to achieve self-sufficiency in chips by using despicable means to participate in the competition, because the cost of developing chips that deviates from globalization is very high. The United States forcibly concentrates resources in the country, and the increased cost will make chip products very expensive. It is not known whether the manufactured chips will be affordable to the public. At least what is certain is that if the United States chooses the wrong path, it is impossible to get the correct result. If debeutification becomes a trend, it will be too late for the United States to regret it.